studios. This is After 9 with Scott and Kat.
Hey now.
Hello.
Might have been a little abrupt. Hi, Kat. How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. It was so busy. Like I was so exhausted last night. Let me tell you, I went to bed early, but it was so fun. Niagara on the Lake was great, just as I left it the last time many years ago. About the same. But good. It was good. It was great. We went to Jackson-Triggs for their concert at night, but before then we hit a couple of different bars and patios. When you're out without kids, right? My husband and I are used to okay, I got to check the kids menu for everywhere we go. We'd have to worry about that. It's nice, right? So it's nice to have a date weekend where it was just wherever we wanted to go. We sat up at the bar at a place, made some friends, just walked around downtown, took an Uber to Jackson-Triggs. It was fun.
How far is Jackson-Triggs from downtown? I've actually never been to one of those wineries.
Really?
Never, no.
Okay.
They really pitch it as this is the fun afternoon. And then I've driven by them and I've seen people riding around on bikes, and that seemed like a lot of work. And
yeah. The bike thing, I don't think I'd ever do the bike thing either. I saw a lot of bikes this weekend.
Some people are just at various stages of heavy intoxication because they've been to many different wineries and probably drank more wine than you should have in a typical serving.
Yes.
So I can't see it being that much fun. Did you enjoy it?
Did you, by the way, see the lady that was sitting near my husband?
So that's what I was going to ask you about. So for those who didn't see Kat's story on the weekend, Kat's there and her husband's right beside her, couple of empty chairs, and then a woman just passed out, slumped over in the chair.
She did not, the concert started, it was loud. She did not budge. I was like, is she okay? And then I saw it, and then a couple of guys walked by knowing this crew, because she was with the person next to her, by the way, who just ignored. I feel like it happens often. There's one in every crowd where you're I already had too much, but I'm not taking her back to the hotel. Fuck that. She could sit here. And that's basically what happened. They just looked at her and went, did the old symbol of drank too much, and they're like, yep. And she was just slumped over her chair the entire time. It looked very uncomfortable, too. She probably woke up very sore, if she even woke up from that.
Does nobody say, hey, that chick is half dead. Maybe we should carry her out of here?
I know. No, because they didn't want to miss the concert. And at a certain point, I get it. You came all the way here for that. Maybe you paid money for it or whatever. I'm not fucking picking her up and taking her out of here. She could sit here.
Didn't you think, I could probably have a little fun with this girl? I could swoop in as assuming girl pal and help her get out.
I wasn't doing that.
No,
there's no way. She was with friends, and if there was no hope from the friends, then I wasn't gonna. The stranger wasn't gonna do it.
Fair enough.
Nah.
Fair enough. How were the Trews?
Trews were good, fine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if I ever saw them live before.
It seemed like an odd concert for you to go to. Were you there mainly for the ambiance?
Yeah, a little bit of that. They invited me.
Got it.
That makes a difference.
They have an amphitheater that they do shows in, but it looks like it's all lawn chairs. What's going on there?
Yeah, well, it's all in. It's cool. It's it's done in a nice way. It's all just set up nicely. It's nice. And then there's a food and drink tent to the right. So you go in, you can get food or drink. If you guys ever do the Jackson-Triggs concert, by the way, get the wine tokens in advance because they're cheaper.
Oh.
And the actual drink tent, once you're in the venue, they just shut everything down in the winery, and then you have to get it from the drink tent, and it's twice the price.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I learned.
How much are they charging for a glass of wine during a show at the Jackson-Triggs estate?
$10.
They charge more in other places. It's not that bad for a glass of wine during a concert.
Yeah, they're not and then they give a good amount, I think. Ask the chick that was passed out.
She had a few, eh?
Yeah. And then ended up, had a couple of bars, just going up against the bar and just... It was fun. It was good. It was a good time. And then I went to the circus last night.
The circus? You went to the circus?
I went to a circ show. There's these pop-up circ shows that happen. I don't know if you've seen any of the advertisements for them. But anytime circus in town, I'm like, okay, I'll take the kids. So we took the kids to the circ show. It was hot though. There was air, but I'm using air quotes. It was not comfortable.
Is this one in Toronto?
No, this was actually in Cambridge. They set up a shop in Cambridge for the weekend. And they did, it was a water circ. So I don't know if you've ever seen the one where the stage comes up and the water comes down. So they perform in the water.
Huh.
It's neat.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I had a nice chill weekend. It was great. Few drinks. It was awesome. Let's see here.
And that's where that one ends.
Well, I don't really have
few
anything
drinks.
else. You had a much more interesting weekend than me. I was getting work done. I do want to ask you about something, though, and I did agree that I would not look into it until after I had a chance to sit down and do this conversation with you on the pod. Mm-hmm. All weekend long, every time I opened my phone, and even a few DMs came in about this.
Yeah.
What is Tuah?
I think it's better to hear the video that's going viral before I explain it, because I think the video is going to tell you everything you need to know.
I do know there's a video. First off, as soon as I said it, Octavia started snickering. You know what this is, Octavia?
Yeah, I've seen it.
And before I play it, what should I expect? What do you think my reaction to this is going to be?
I don't even know.
Okay, got it. This is the Tuah video. It's a girl, right?
Yeah, being interviewed on the street. Okay, so picture there's streeters, people who stand outside with microphones and just ask people questions, okay? This one was a little more inappropriate. I shouldn't say inappropriate, but it wasn't really meant to be, I think. But this was a guy asking a bunch of girls that were out clubbing, like, what's the one thing you do to, like, make men go crazy, essentially. Not in that exact wording, but something along those lines.
All right, here we go. The Tuah video.
Come on, you gotta get a spicy one.
You want a spicy one?
Yeah.
What's one move in bed that make a man go crazy every time?
One what?
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time? That you do?
That I do.
Yeah. That makes a man go crazy every time.
Does not reply.
In bed, Haley.
Oh.
This is for her.
What?
You gotta answer this. You got it.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh,
that
you
do?
gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing. You get me?
I don't get you. I think you gotta demonstrate.
Hawk too and spit
No,
on
like-
it. Spit on it. If I see
Oh my God.
So it was just more the fact that it's kind of funny that she's very inebriated. I wonder how she feels right now.
Right.
I actually kind of feel bad for her.
She is already more popular than the woman on the airplane who insisted that motherfucker at the back is not real. But she seems to fit into that class of internet celebrity.
Or the looking for a man in finance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what Tuah is. I believe she said you Tuah and then spit on that thing.
Yeah, on that thing. The best is the twang. On that thing. Spit on that thing. So as you can imagine, because this went viral, and maybe, I don't know if it really was viral worthy, but I think the memes and the songs that are coming out of it are better than the OG vid itself.
Okay, you've left me a song to play here.
Yeah.
And we don't often play songs in the pod, but this is about a minute long. This is based on the new Tuah girl. Listen to this.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
oh, you gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing.
There was a phrase that struck a chord and took the internet by storm. A phrase for when she's spitting right onto you. A dude said this to these two chicks: what always brings a man to bliss? And she said, spit on that thing,
It's absolutely beautiful.
It's that's one of many, by the way. There's remixes galore. There's a country one. There's a DJ. I mean,
Leonard Cohen is rolling over in his grave right now.
her parents are hiding right now.
Are they really?
Could you imagine? No,
Oh.
I don't know. But
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, imagine that's how your kid goes viral. That's
Yeah.
not like,
Sorry, my daughter said what?
yeah, I'm sorry, what now?
Hawk Tuah, spit on that thing. Fuck, really?
Someone got a tattoo apparently too. There's already card decals you can buy. Like, I'm not fucking kidding you.
Well, that'll be a nice change from the
shit.
typical fuck Trudeau bumper stickers.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, switching it up is always good, I suppose.
Interesting country between the F Trudeau and the Hawk Tuah. That's Canada
Can
now.
we just take this time though to be very to all remember to be mindful about when someone's recording you, doing or saying anything.
Yeah,
Because
this
I don't.
shit happens.
I'm not saying she's regretting it because maybe she's not. Maybe she's proud of it, and that's okay. That's totally fine too. But I'm saying, imagine you did say that, and then you didn't realize, wow, fucking TikTok, it's everywhere, and then it blows up all over everywhere.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yikes. Ugh. I wonder if that helps or hurts your job
By the way-
prospects if you're the Hawk Tuah girl. Like, do you mention that on your resume? Like, hey, I went viral once. Like,
No.
50 million people saw me talk about how I spit on a dick.
Unless it's your OnlyFans profile, then you could do that for sure. That's no problem. By the way, I just want to mention this one because I know you'd like this. Someone tweeted back a photo of Monica Lewinsky and then said the OG Hawk Tuah girl. Great.
Oh, that's really good. Hey, it's the final week of school, everybody. The teachers and educators, the ECEs, the admin, the secretaries, the custodians, every one of them. So fucking happy right now, and I love it.
I bet you are. Yeah, good on you.
You know, every year I watch this cycle happen, and it seems like in June we get a lot of miserable people, or we hear from nobody on Mondays in June. Everybody's busy, depressed, tired. They got shit going on. Today, everybody was in a good, happy, bubbly mood, dancing around, just tapping their way into the final week of school.
It's good.
You earned it. I'm glad. And tonight, of course, big hockey game, Game 7, Oilers and Panthers. Yeah. Did you watch at all on Friday when the Oilers won Game 6 to force a Game 7?
I think a little bit. Yeah.
It was so well done. I mean, to fight back from down 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final hasn't been done since the 40s. If Edmonton can pull it off and win the Stanley Cup tonight, will it be the massive achievement and comeback from Edmonton, or will it be the massive collapse of the Florida Panthers? How are they going to spin this one tomorrow? What do you think?
I don't know. Our buddy Rick Lee's going to be there, by the way. I believe we played Rick before when Toronto was actually in this thing.
He used to go to Maple Leaf Square for us, and he would do those streeter type things. Never asked what moves you've got in the bedroom or anything. It was mainly related to hockey.
There was no Hawk to it. Well, there might be today. I don't know.
You never know. So Rick is going to be, I think he lands at 11 a.m. in Miami. He's going to go right to Sunrise and hang out outside the arena. He's going to be talking to a whole bunch of people, and he's going to be right there tonight. I don't know if they have like a Maple Leaf Square type setup, or if they even have enough fans to fill a square when the arena is full. But I mean, the average ticket is going for $7,000 a ticket for tonight. Mm-hmm. But you know the cup is going to get awarded. And I'm trying to figure out if that's a once-in-a-lifetime, suck it up and spend the money to say you were there.
Mm-hmm. And for some people, the answer to that is yes, for sure.
Would you want to be there? Or are you happy to just watch at home?
No.
No?
No, not there.
Really?
I have no specific reason to be there.
If it was the Leafs in this position, would you want to go?
That's
I'd want to go too.
See, that's different. Yeah.
There's I don't even know how to spin this here. We've been talking for, I think, about a year and a half now on After 9 about the suggestion that they should move the Ontario Science Centre from where it currently is in the hood down to Ontario Place, where presumably when it's done, it's going to be quite beautiful. And I saw no issues with this. I thought, yeah, we should put our best tourist attractions in convenient locations. And frankly, where the Ontario Science Centre is in Toronto, I don't find it very convenient. They're building a subway up to it just in time to take the Science Centre away from that location, and they're going to move it down to the big Cinesphere at Ontario Place. I still think it's a great move. And then Friday, a big shock cat. When it was announced, the Science Centre is closed permanently, effective today. They shut it down with no notice after an engineering report came back that said the roof is in serious disrepair. There's a chance that the roof could collapse. That sounds pretty serious to me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they shut it down for a reason, for sure.
Engineers are engineers. They're not going to fabricate that. If the roof's going to collapse, you'll find out about it in an engineering report. And despite the fact that the roof may fall in, there was still people out there protesting all weekend, just falling on the ground. Oh my God, it's the worst thing ever. Kat, this building is 55 years old and it's kind of dingy. Have you been to the Science Center recently?
Nope, not recently. I think I went as a kid one time.
Yeah, I was there on a school trip or something. I think that's a rite of passage. A lot of people will go to the Science Center on a school trip, and they will again. In fact, even more so when it's in a better location. When you think about where all the tourist attractions are, down there on the lakeshore, you've got Scotiabank Arena, you've got Ripley's, you've got the CN Tower, Rogers Center. Doesn't it make sense to have the Science Center down in and around that proximity as well?
Yeah.
Are these people opposed to moving it because they're that opposed to moving it, or are they just opposed to it for the sake of they don't like change?
They don't like change, I think, for the most part. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be the best. In fact, it could be so much better. I mean, we know now they have no choice but to suck it up. It is what it is. But it's going to be so much better that they'll look back and be like, wow, yeah, it's a good move to make. And also, let's not forget that something needs to be in that area anyway. Like, I'm excited about that area actually having things there to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
It's a good spot.
I think we should have more things to do.
Yeah.
Hey, it was always a weird look when people came into the city and we're like, yeah, the vast majority of shit is right downtown. You get a hotel along Front Street or on King and you're walking distance to everything. Well, I mean, except for the Science Center. That's way the fuck up north. And the zoo, I mean, that's in Bowmanville.
Yeah.
You know, let's stop screwing around here and let's make things convenient like every other city. They like to keep the attractions in basically the same place, and I think it's okay. I just don't understand when you've been told by engineers, careful, the roof might cave in. They're dying to keep it open. Why would we do that? The roof is falling in. Wild to me.
Stupid. It's stupid.
The LCBO, we know, may go on strike. July 5th is the date. So they've announced expanded hours for the Canada Day long weekend. Now, they say it's so you can stock up in the event of a strike. The residual effect is very convenient for us. It's going to be open 9:30 a.m. until 10 p.m. starting Thursday. The only exception to that is going to be Monday itself. Canada Day, it's going to be closed.
Closed, yeah.
A week from today is Canada Day, by the way. This month is flying by. Sorry, teachers, I know you don't agree. But anyway, it's a good idea to expand the hours, but this is something that we should be talking about doing all the time. There's going to be a lot of competition coming in soon for the LCBO. Is it time that Ontario's sole liquor purveyor modernizes and maybe opens up more convenient hours so that they can compete with the 7-Elevens and Circle K's of the world?
I wonder if they will.
They're going to have to. I think. I mean, they're still the only place you can go if you need a 40-pounder of gin, or what was that new one? You mentioned this morning there's a celebrity that's bringing out a new line of
Margot
gin.
Robbie. Yeah.
Margot Robbie in the gin business. I never would have guessed that.
Yeah. Yeah. She says she's not doing it for the money, which is kind of funny. But it's her husband. It's her and her husband, right? Who's also her business partner in a lot of ventures. So the two of them, and then a couple of friends of theirs. And they all like, I'm not a gin person. I can't get into it. I just can't. But nonetheless, that's fine. Hey, more options out there I think are okay, but it's very saturated. I mean, have you seen the shelves of liquor stores? And we don't even have big liquor stores here. LCBO locations are not large. Go to the States, go anywhere else where they have, or even in a different province, they have massive liquor stores filled with all kinds of varieties. We only shelve like a small percentage of what's out there in the world. So when you say that you're going to get into the business, it probably actually isn't that lucrative to start. But when you have a name, which she does, that helps. I think we all agree.
Sure, absolutely. Hey, I think that the LCBO should be open more hours. It should be more convenient. This is, there's no shortage of locations. There's no shortage of staff to work it. So maybe it should be open more convenient hours. Did we on the pod talk about things that should be open 24 hours? I think, or was that just a radio segment? I think it was a radio segment.
I think it was just on the radio. I don't think we did it on the pod. It'd be good to do on the pod too.
We did a segment on the radio last week talking about more things being open 24 hours. The way we're growing, the hours that people are working, if you're usually just a 9-to-5er and you go to bed around 11 and you get up around 8 and go to work, you'd probably never know. The amount of people that are out and about at 4 o'clock in the morning is crazy. When Kat and I come into work, there's actual traffic because so many people are up, yet nothing is open.
And when you want to get stuff done, like I'd imagine when you're done work at that time, right? So picture those who leave work around like whatever silly hour in the morning it is. After you go to work, you guys like to get stuff done on your way home, right? If you're doing a regular 9-to-5, I'll use air quotes because I know it's not everybody's shift. But you go out and you get stuff done. For a lot of people, they can't do any of those things. Even grocery stores, but pre-COVID, they used to be open 24 hours. A lot of the store, I shouldn't say all of them, of course they weren't all, but there were some that were like known to be 24 hours. They stopped doing that during COVID. They never started it back up again.
Is it because minimum wage went so high and they don't want to staff it? Like, I have to think that if you're a McDonald's location and you decide to stay open 24 hours, I got to think that in any hour, you're going to sell enough burgers and McFlurries and shit to pay the staff to be open, to justify having open for that time. More things open 24 hours, please. That would be really good. What else we got to do in this episode? Oh, yes. We had a great conversation on the radio show today, which I hope you can listen to. We're on in the morning, 5:30 till 9:30, 91.5 FM The Beat or 95.3 Energy. There's a new game show coming, and I'm here for it because we're actually going to have to, on this game show, listen to other people's perspectives. Even if you disagree with them and think they're crazy, you're going to have to listen to what conspiracy theorists have to say.
Well, this in particular is, I guess it would be a bit of a competition series in a way. It's for flat earthers.
People who believe the earth is flat.
Mm-hmm. So you get a budget of $50,000. I don't know how many teams are involved, but you get a budget of $50,000 to attempt to convince the judges, who's on the judging panel, I don't know, that the earth is flat. And if you do, you get a cash prize. But I was thinking this is a cool, kind of a neat concept because really for a lot of people, they're just going to be like watching to make fun. Okay, let's be honest. There's going to be people watching to make fun of it. But is there a way that we could put this to good use in life?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like regular Joes and Schmoes that are on TikTok right now are already fucking solving crimes quicker than the cops are.
It's amazing that there are some people who have dedicated their entire social media account to try and solve cold cases. They're doing the work for free that police haven't been able to do when they're getting paid. Mm-hmm. And they're good at it.
They're not bad, right? Like they take the time. So if you gave them $50,000, a budget of $50,000, of course, that's not money in their pocket necessarily unless they win something. Why can't we do more of this, but try to catch bad people? You know what I mean? Like, let's put this to good use. I feel like we could.
I think it would be good because there's a lot of people who feel like they don't have a voice. They believe what they believe and they feel like they're all alone because they keep being told, nobody else believes that, you're crazy. Aliens is a great example. There are people that have for years believed that aliens are real, extraterrestrials have visited Earth, and they may be walking among us. It wasn't that long ago they would have institutionalized you.
That's true.
If you firmly believe that. But if you gave somebody that believed that $50,000 and a panel of judges, you've got 2 weeks to form your argument and create a convincing case that aliens are real. I think just regular people watching that would be refreshed to hear that there's people out there who share their point of view. Maybe people who thought it was crazy, and they'll have their mind changed by hearing this argument that took around $50,000 to formulate. I think this is a brilliant idea.
Yeah, not bad, right? And it's too bad not a lot of people will see it. It's on like it's on an app.
So they're not actually going to televise it yet?
No, it's called The Network, in case you're wondering, and it doesn't really have good ratings on the app. But I like the concept of it. So if they could if this works out okay for them, I think that it should be something we consider to go on to put more eyes on it if it's something that they do that makes a difference in the world. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Scott, I learned more about the person golfing with you. Do you want to hear this?
Oh yeah, tell me.
So we talked about in the podcast, like, hey, if you're the one that won, feel free to reach out if you want, right? Like, but no pressure. But Donald.
His name is Donald?
Donald is, I don't know if I should say his last name, but he told me his last name too. Is the one who got the lucky bid. And just so Donald is aware, because I know he's a listener, not just of the pod, of our show as well, of our radio show. So He knew this was up, so he heard it on there, and then he got to bid on that last moment of that day. I heard from a guy that was outbid by Donald too, by the way, who's so bummed.
I felt bad for the people who bid and
so
they thought,
close.
oh, I'm going to win, and then they lost.
But that's how auctions work, right? And you know what? By all means, we'll do it again. So Donald wants you to know he's a 42-year-old flooring contractor. Hey, that can come in handy.
Absolutely.
Can you make friends with him? I'm going to make friends with him.
Yeah, so you can get something done at your house? Okay. We help each other out like that.
But this is my favorite part. You ready? He says, I enjoy playing golf. I figured Scott would be someone I'd like to play around with. And I also want to see if he's as good as he says he is.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yay.
Fun fact, I've never said I'm good. Never. I let other people say that for me.
You're braggy sometimes. He's bringing his buddies Kyle and Kevin, by the way. So Donald, Kyle, Kevin, Scott, you guys are going to be a force to be reckoned with at the tournament for the Children's Fund, of course. The main reason why you're doing it, for a great cause. So have fun with that.
Well, now the money has been made for the charity. Now it's time to go out and settle it on the golf course. So we have a few colleagues that are also going to be participating in this tournament. Various radio personalities are going to be there. A couple of our colleagues and coworkers also did auctions. There's Taz and Jim there from Y108. Mm-hmm. I want to beat their foursome so fucking bad, Kat. Like, I'm sure they're nice guys. I don't really know them that well, but god damn it, would I like to beat those two on the golf course. and Rick Zamprin, the guy who does mornings on Global News Radio, AM 900 CHML.
Oh, that'll be fun.
So fun fact, he was the voice, or is the voice of the Ticats for their radio broadcasts. It's got to be 20 years ago. Crosswinds Golf Club. It's on Guelph Line in Milton. When they had their grand opening, they did a media preview where they invited out all kinds of members of the media. Rick and I played a round of golf together. We were in the same foursome 20 years ago. That's the last time I saw the guy. And we're going to see each other again at another golf tournament.
There you go.
After all these years. Speaking of golf, the Travelers Championship was this weekend, and it was going very, very well. Scotty Scheffler ready to win it on the 18th green, and then pandemonium. People were pretty angry that protesters tried to interrupt play on the 18th green just as the final few seconds of the tournament were about to unfold. What I can't tell is they stormed the green, and when you're at a live golf event, you're just sort of roped off. There's nothing holding you in that area. So these people went over the rope or under the rope, and they ran toward the green with smoke, and they were trying to spray paint shit. Environmentalists or anti-Israeli? What do you think?
Oh, God, I don't know.
I don't know either. This is just every single event is getting interrupted. And good on these security guards. I kind of like that security guards have had enough. These are professional athletes. If you ran on the field at a pro soccer game, let's say you saw Lionel Messi over there, and you're going to go over, I'm going to run over to him, Messi, and get a hug and a selfie. I'm going to run on the field and do it. On field, you always see a whole bunch of people running around trying to chase him. It never goes well. Never looks graceful. I hope they beat the holy hell out of those people that try to interfere with the game like that put the athlete's safety in jeopardy. All this shit that are just trying to steal someone else's moment to make a point that they happen to believe in.
Yeah, I agree.
These security guys, full-blown tackle. You'd think security at this tournament was hired directly out of the NFL. It's great. If you want to laugh today, look up the protesters on the green and watch the cops tackle these people. It was majestic, Cat. Loved it. And still with sports, I've got one more to do. Orelvis Martinez. You familiar with this Toronto Blue Jay?
I know who you're talking about, but I had no idea who this was previous to this.
This guy has, for all his life, wanted to be a professional baseball player, and he did it. He did all the shitty road bus trips to dingy little towns all across America. He grew up playing in the Dominican leagues, and now he finally got a shot. He got called up to the Blue Jays to play the infield.
It's cool.
2 days into his professional baseball career, suspended for 80 games by Major League Baseball for a positive test for performance-enhancing drugs.
Womp womp.
Now, we all know pro sports, not allowed to use any supplements, nothing that could enhance your performance. Nothing. Can't do it.
You gotta be careful. Like, I feel like you shouldn't even have anything when you're in that position.
I agree. And there's
You know what I mean?
millions of dollars on the line here. Here's the thing. He had visited a fertility clinic. Him and his girlfriend have been trying to have a baby. Apparently something that the fertility clinic prescribed this guy shows up as a performance-enhancing drug on the drug test. He's out for 80 games, which means he's probably never going to play baseball again.
Yeah, what do you think about it? 80 games. That's a while away.
Nobody's holding his spot for 80 games.
But then that's why I do think that you really do have to be careful. Like, when you're in that position, you trust nobody. What does your fertility doctor know about what drugs should and shouldn't be in your system if you're going to play professional baseball? I just wouldn't trust it. I don't know why you would.
I trust the doctor. Is it on the patient or the doctor?
No, patient.
You're
the one getting the paycheck. Yeah, no, it's still. I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't. If my career, my life, all this money was riding on making sure I didn't put anything weird in my system, and then along comes a doctor and says, "Okay, well, you got to start taking these drugs." You bet your ass I'm flagging that, and I'm double checking. I'll take those fucking pills or whatever it is, injectables. I don't even know what he took. Straight to the goddamn league head and be like, "You approve this personally, or I'm not fucking taking it." Don't take chances with that. And there's the proof. You shouldn't.
Okay, but I mean, it's for fertility. He's not doing it for performance enhancement.
It doesn't matter though. There's so many. How many stories have we heard of that?
Yeah, but I mean, if it's
Don't take shit.
Okay, but
Period.
Again, you and your girl are trying to conceive. You've done the right thing and gone to a fertility clinic. You're talking to a licensed medical doctor. You could tell the doctor, I'm a professional athlete. I'm a baseball player, yada, yada, yada. If I'm a doctor, it's going to clue in, ooh, you might not be able to have any or every drug.
It's not on the doctor. Like, again, though, to me, it's not on the doctor. That's not what they do. It's not like this is the doctor for the MLB. It's not. I just wouldn't trust it. I'm surprised people do. It's a lesson learned.
Yeah, I guess.
Because guess what? He's going to be short a lot of fucking money because of that.
Yeah, no.
And fertility drugs are not cheap also, by the way.
I'm wondering, do they have to pay him for these 80 games? Because I imagine he's not getting paid much. He's probably on a minor league contract, if anything.
That's the thing. It depends on what's written in the contract. If you are busted taking a drug, whether your intent was to or not, there's probably every reason for them to be like, yep, you're not getting your cash.
Yeah.
He probably signed it.
I feel really bad for this guy, though. He wasn't doing anything nefarious. He was just trying to get his girl pregnant. I mean, maybe the league should try and get his girlfriend pregnant if they're going to be
well, at that
assholes
point,
about it.
like, don't take any meds. Just be like, let's find another way, man. Like, I wouldn't trust anything in my bloodstream if my fucking career was riding on it like that.
Online dating is always going to be popular. This from Forbes, actually, who surveyed 1,000 online daters, and they found some things that are very, very, very unsettling about trying to meet somebody online. 1 in 5 have lied about their age on their dating profile. 1 in 5. 21% of people admitted to it. 19% of women, 23% of men. Guys, what are you lying about your fucking age for?
I know.
On Tinder, you're lying about your age? Are you trying to be older or younger? I don't understand.
And is it by a year? Is it by 5 years? Like, how big is the lie here?
And how long did you intend to keep up that lie? At some point, the person that you've convinced through a lie to date you is going to be dating you. It's probably going to come up, usually every year, on the same day, in and around your birthday. What, are you going to do everything you can to hide the year you were born? Hope she doesn't do the math? Hope nobody mentions that you're turning 50 instead of turning 40? How long did you think you were going to get away with that?
Hey, I never understand that. It's not a good way to start off a relationship, too. You know?
There are 5 things, 5 lies that about 1 in 8 people have told all of. They've lied about their height, their job or lack thereof, their income, their dating history, and their current relationship status. 1 in 8 people have lied about all 5 of those things on their profile.
Are all those the things that are listed on some of the profiles?
I guess
so. So these are people that maybe are divorced, but don't want to say that maybe in the relationship status category.
Maybe.
It's because they don't want to like go down that path of answering any questions right off the top.
Employment's a tough one.
Employment, yeah.
Do you put in there that you're unemployed? No. But do you put in there that you're employed? Again, probably not, unless you just want to brag. I mean, hey, there's certain jobs that are worth bragging about. If you're a surgeon, fucking brag about being a surgeon. You're a surgeon. You could probably have your pick of the litter on that site.
Yeah.
People love doctors. If you are, I don't know, maybe you've got a weird job. Like maybe you work as an undercover cop or something like that. You probably wouldn't even be allowed to put your occupation on there.
Right.
So because somebody does or doesn't have it on their profile, I don't think you can read too much into that because some have limitations. If I were in the online dating world, I would probably not put on there what I do. If somebody figures it out, fine, but I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to put that out there because I'd like someone to date me for my body, not my career.
That's right.
Fuck off, Octavia. What are you looking like that for? 1 in 7 have lied about their hobbies just to seem more attractive to the other person. Oh, yeah.
Hobbies.
I love fishing, and you fucking hate fishing.
Do you give a shit? Like you see this girl on a thing, whatever, and everything's fine, and then she says in her hobbies that she fucking crafts on the side or something. Like, do you even care what their hobbies are?
Well, their hobbies don't need to be my hobbies.
That's what I mean. Like, so does it matter?
But
Like,
some people believe in the connection, though. They think, oh, I'm into crafting and they're into crafting, so we must be meant to be together.
we could craft together.
And that's never going to happen. And if it does, you'll realize quickly that you're good at crafting and he lied. He's never even fucking done it before. That's when you're gluing popsicle sticks together and calling it a couch.
You know what's so funny is I just thought of something to kind of argue against myself and what I just said. Because I know there's some people who dated people who were interested in certain things and they never want to fucking date those people again.
Really?
Like the horseback rider types, or maybe the people that are into F1 racing or something like that. Like if you put hobbies like that where they're like, I've already been there, done that shit, that might deter people.
No, you're absolutely
I can see how
right.
that would actually be handy. I want to date another one of those fucking guys again. You know what I mean? Oh, he's really into soccer? Fuck that. I fucking hate soccer.
There are certain...
You know what I mean? Things like that.
Totally. And certain ones are a red flag. Certain ones are a red flag. Like, for example, no offense, Octavia, but if it says right on there, I'm real into camping and shit like that, I think, well, that's not going to work out then. I'm not fucking doing that.
He's like, could you please stop talking about me and camping? No, but it's true. Like, I'm a real outdoorsy type, and these are all my favorite hobbies, and they're all outside, and you know that you're not going to be able to join them in any of those activities. It might be something to at least bring up to them.
Not only are you not going to join them, I mean, I would probably be extremely critical of these things. Like if she says, hey, I'm going to go camping this weekend, my first question would be why?
Yeah.
Are there no hotels? Are they sold out? Why are you going to sleep outside? Anyway, a conversation for another day. But yes, I totally get that. Lying to make yourself seem more attractive to the other by pretending to be into their hobbies. Depending on the hobby, you could probably get away with it for a little while.
A little bit.
Not everyone is going to fly here. The other thing Forbes found is the most popular dating sites. I'm actually kind of surprised at this, but Tinder is still the #1 dating site. I would have thought it was Match or something like that, but a Christian Mingle. But no, it's Tinder. I wonder how many people are on Christian Mingle. I see commercials for that every now and again.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. At a certain point, if you're not a Christian, you're just like, fuck it, I'll try this one because I've tried all the other ones.
Well, that's another one. Pretend you're all into Jesus and stuff, and then
and you don't want to go to church with them.
No, then they're going to start.
Yeah.
Hey, it's 7 a.m. on Sunday. Let's get ready for church. And you hate your life.
That's a big one. Like anything like religious. You know what I mean? By the way, Octavia found there's over 16 million members.
On Tinder?
No. For the Christian one. Christian Mingle.
16 million?
There's a lot of people.
Wow.
Man, do you know how many people say they met at their church? Like, haven't you heard this story all the time?
Yes, absolutely. I have heard it. It's a weird place to pick up, though. Like, do you pick up in the lobby?
Yeah,
like,
because they do.
I always go in and say hi to the priest and you know, the holy water, and I'll bless myself and sit down and pay attention. Where are you picking up at church?
There's the events after them. Didn't you get dragged to these church? I got dragged
Catholic
every
church?
fucking Sunday, though. And and there's the after part. I could see people meeting there. They have served Timbits and coffee and shit like that. Have you ever done that? Have you ever been forced to go? When I was a kid, that's the only reason why I went to church was because they promised me Timbits after. And then we go to the little mingling area. And it was only like one Sunday a month they did it. But then you went to the little area. I could see, I didn't pay attention because I was a kid and I just was there for the Timbits. But like, there were probably adults mingling. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you what happens at the end of Mass when I go. I am like literally counting the steps until the priest reaches the back of the church. As soon as he reaches the back of the church,
you're up and outie.
I'm out of here. See you later. I will bless myself on the way out the door, grab myself a bulletin, and I'm off. All the reading material I can handle until next Sunday. I'm not sticking around to fucking socialize with anybody. Why do they do that?
That's some people's social lives, though. That is like some people's social lives. But that's what I mean. Like, that wouldn't be someone for you, for example. But someone else might be like, yeah, I love doing that. You know, I also volunteer at the church for their programs or something. So that's the kind of guy that would be for me. You know what I mean?
Man, if you lie about that to try and get a date, that's fucked up.
I bet you people do, though. People will lie to get laid all fucking day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand how long you figure you can carry on this lie. At some point, you're going to have to tell this poor woman or man, hey, I made all this up. I don't like being here. I don't like getting up on Sunday mornings. I don't like doing this. I don't like doing that. I don't like the smell of the bulletins, whatever. I got to go.
I'm doing this for the Tuah, okay?
Tinder's #1. Plenty of fish.
Plenty of fish.
#2, it beat out Bumble. I didn't know that Plenty of Fish made a comeback. Plenty of Fish used to be like the cougar one, right? It was the older people?
It was always known as being the older people, but then the younger people jumped on it. And then I think that the demographic is kind of varies now at this point.
The average online dater, spends 51 minutes a day swiping through potential partners. Almost an hour of the 24 in a day you spend just going through your dating
Don't
apps.
they just circulate the same people over and over again, or are there really that many?
I guess there's that many. I don't know. Although I do question who's real and who's not on these things.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can keep you hooked by putting fake ones on there, and I'm sure that'll get even easier with AI.
Well, when you watch the documentary about Ashley Madison, they admitted to, I don't know if you know any of it. Have you seen that documentary yet?
Not yet.
Oh, God. It's actually good, like knowing the insides. They planted a ton of them. Women, all
Really?
women, a lot of fake women. And they would chat with you nonstop. I have no doubt in my mind that all those sites, all those apps have fake profiles all over them.
I thought that was just when they were getting started to make it seem like there was more people on there. I mean, I think they all
They
do it. You're
continued the
right.
conversation. And the people who worked there replied. Like they would be in the chat groups. Like they would be talking to these people.
Wow.
They just didn't go as far as meeting up with them. You know what I mean? But they would, just to get them excited, right? Like, hey, oh, someone's messaging me. Because it costs money to message.
I wonder how many different people one person had to be.
By the way, that's such a fraud. Like you shouldn't be able to do that. That should be illegal.
You'd think.
You're frauding people into replying, which costs them money.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a good business model. I mean, like you said, guys will do anything for the hawk Tuah.
They
so.
fucking will. Spend a lot of dough.
I can't believe this, but we're out of time already. We are going to get to the replay of missed connections in just a sec. I do want to mention something because I know that it doesn't happen very often that we actually get something for free. But Mandarin has announced that on Canada Day, the buffet is free.
Dude,
Come on into any Ontario Mandarin location next Monday, Canada Day, and it's free as they show off their Canadian menu.
Those places are going to be rammed.
Yeah.
They're going to be rammed. Like there's going to be a line out the door to get in. And then once you're in, do you think there's going to be like a limit? They don't say that here, by the way. They're just saying like straight up it's free. Like the buffet's free. There might be a time limit. I think they should put a time limit on that. Can I be honest with you? Because giving it to people for free is really nice.
Yeah.
You should be like in and out within an hour though. Get the fuck out of here. You're not lingering around all day.
I wouldn't mind if they did, because they want to promote that M2 Go thing, the Mandarin to go.
Right.
What they should do is, sure, you got to show up in person. You're going to get one plate and it's to go. Fill it and then get out.
Get the fuck out. That's not a bad idea.
So I'm reading the press release that Mandarin sent us this morning because they wanted to be featured on Food News, which is something that we do on the Scott and Kat Show. As with the previous 4 free buffet celebrations, Mandarin is anticipating thousands of enthusiastic fans with lineups historically starting before sunrise.
They know. They know it's going to happen.
You got to get there before 6 a.m. to eat a free meal.
They know it's going to happen. Because they're right. It is going to happen. Do you know how many things are free right now, especially food?
Nothing.
Where can you get free food?
Nowhere.
Maybe at those church events we're talking about, but it ain't no Mandarin.
Free Timbits and sandwiches cut into 4s.
It ain't no Mandarin.
The July 1st meal includes the award-winning all-you-can-eat buffet featuring Chinese-Canadian favorites. Guests will enjoy over 100 dishes, including exclusive menu selections from their Celebrate Canada promotion, like maple barbecue ribs,
Okay.
poutine, Canadian pizza. Canadian pizza is pepperoni, sausage, and mushroom, right?
I think so.
And then there's maple glazed salmon, butter tarts, and Nanaimo bars.
Yeah, the place is going to be rammed.
It's
Well,
gonna be
please tip.
fucking
If you're going, at least please tip, though.
Yes.
Please.
Meals free, you still leave a tip for the server. And on that, we will say, hey, have a great day, everybody. It's a great time of year. We're counting down to the long weekend. Last week of school, we've got some consistently nice weather here. Enjoy your Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Tuah.
Missed Connections. Missed Connections on the Scott and Kat Show.
All right, now it's time to try and connect two people who have had an encounter in the past, and they're looking for each other. Well, one's looking for the other anyway, so they told that story online. Kat intercepts these stories for you every week, and we bring them to you here on the Scott and Kat Show.
This is called the Lululemon Lad. It happened at a Lululemon, if you're wondering. I work at Lululemon. You came in for some sportswear, and it got steamy fast. You were trying on the license to train tank tops and flexed in the mirror.
You flexed in the mirror at Lulu? Get out of here.
I was sweating. When you came out of the dressing room in those soft jersey tapered pants, I peed a little.
All right.
You tested out the clothes in front of those workout-looking mirrors and really got into it. Maybe you knew I was watching, and I assumed that cheeky little wink was meant for me. Other customers stepped over you while you did push-ups on the floor. I'm sorry my manager shooed you out, but please come back to the same location. Find me. I'll watch you try them all on. I want to see your muscly arms in our ultra-soft Nulu tanks.
Okay, so getting asked to leave Lululemon because you're being obnoxious trying on clothes, that's a first. I mean, you don't see that very often.
I mean, I'd probably ask first if I was a manager, are you going to pay for all these things? And then if you say no, then for sure I'll be like, okay, get out. But if you're going to pay for them, like, go ahead, bud. Do your push-ups and make sure you're comfy.
We all know Lulu makes you look good. Flexing in the mirror is a strange flex. I'll say that right off the bat. Dropping down to do push-ups in the store, that's next level. Inappropriate for a trying on session.
I'm glad that we settled that, yeah. This next one is called The Trombone Goddess. You were the trombone player that was hired to play at my cousin's graduation party. I thought it was going to be another boring family function, but wow. I did not know the trombone could be so sexy. You and your elbows at all the perfect angles. As you blew out that angelic sound. I watched you all night. I was the guy that had meatballs accidentally roll off my plate and onto the floor. Whilst I was watching you intently. I hope you didn't catch that part, but I assume you did. When I asked you all about your trombone, you told me you did a good rendition of Gin and Juice. I'd love to hear that sometime.
Gin and Juice on the trombone. I don't even think there was a trombone in the original.
I don't think so, but is this what you want at your parties? Maybe it is. I don't know.
Oh.
Could we get into this?
I could
Bend
get
over
into
to
this.
the front. Shows. Get low. Get low.
I also find it funny that the person whose meatballs rolled off their plate is the same person who used whilst.
Whilst.
Very good. I wasn't expecting that, but I always appreciate a good whilst.
Is it hard to find the trombone player that you can rent out for parties? I mean, I don't imagine there's a ton of them, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's an entire market to trombone playing party people.
Is there an app for that, or where do you book these musicians?
Yeah. The trombone list app is free.
Download the Tromboner app and book yourself a trombone player.
Trombonist? Is it tromboner? Trombonist? Trombone?
No, I think you got to keep going. I think you got to keep getting.
I think
you're
I'll
gonna end up back
stop.
at the beginning. You're going to end up back there. So he's into the trombonist.
He's very into the trombonist.
Yeah, because her elbows are at the perfect angle.
Perfect angle.
Yeah.
Is that one of the ones you have to empty the spit cartridge out?
Most
It
of the
is, right?
wind instruments you do.
Ooh, I
yeah.
hope you got to see that part.
What song is this? I'm trying to.
My way.
My way.
I did it
Oh.
my way.
Wonderful for a birthday party.
It's beautiful.
Can you imagine when your parents come down and announce, for the birthday, we've hired a trombonist?
Yeah.
The hell you
Sorry.
have? I don't think so.
Sorry, all the other bands were booked, but guess what? We got you. Tromboner to the rescue.
Had a chance to get you a good DJ. Went with the trombonist.
It's cheaper. Times are tough, honey.
My